Welcome to another episode of Fuseinaction. This podcast today is about people snitching, informing on other people, and just flat out telling. This is a real touchy subject. This is a subject that we see all day, every day, especially here in Philadelphia. Even in the feds, I got some friends that's in the federal institution and institutions, and they say they call Philadelphia Teledelphia. So we're gonna get some information on CIs, some information on people who like to tell on people, man. I don't know. I don't know. What you think, man? I couldn't get the shit out.
Basically, starting it off, it's a big epidemic with the snitching, and the thing is, people have their different opinions as far as like what's a snitch, what's a rat, who's a snitch, who's a rat, and just identifying it on the street code of things. So basically, with the crime rate, it's all connected to the crime rate here in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Like basically, is that snitching thing helping with shutting the crime down? Is that a part of helping shutting the crime down? That's what we wanted to know with the statistics and stuff like that. Is that a part of helping it? Because there's a lot of people doing it. It's like, what's the purpose behind it? Like, is that helping the community or is that hurting the community? Meaning, when people go and tell, is that hurting the community or helping the community?
What you think, Marcel? I got an answer for that. I got an opinion on it.
I mean, it depends where you're coming from with it. Are you talking about regular civilians, people that are not doing crimes, or are you talking about people that are involved in actual crimes with other individuals themselves? So, I mean, if you're doing crime and you're, whatever you're doing and you in some type of gang or affiliated with a gang, I mean, you should own up to whatever you're doing. Then that's snitching. But when you look at a regular civilian that has nothing to do with that, would you classify that as snitching? And if they want to do the right thing and, you know, tell they saw something in their community or in their neighborhood and they want to do what's right, is that snitching? So we need to, like, where are we at with that? Like, are we talking regular civilians or are we talking people in the streets? I mean, it's a difference.
That's perfect. To be honest with
That's
you,
different.
That's a perfect answer because we had a conversation some years ago in the barbershop. Because some people take the position that if you tell, you a snitch. So what I basically asked one of the dudes who said that, I said, if your mother's coming home from work and she went grocery shopping and some thug snatches her pocketbook and she calls the cops and she identifies him during the lineup, is she a rat? Is she an informant? Is she a snitch? And he was under the opinion that if anyone talks to the police, that they're a snitch. And I totally disagree with him. I'm on the same page as Marcel. If a person is a civilian who's not into any criminal behavior, and someone breaks in their home and they call the cops, I don't think they're a rat or snitch at all. So I think that they're exempt from having that so-called snitch status. It doesn't make sense to me. My definition of a rat is when two individuals make a cognitive decision to break the law, and one or two or whatever get caught, and they tell on everybody else or tell what happened. Then to me, that person's a rat. I don't think your grandmother's a rat if she's coming home and somebody snatches her pocketbook and hit her in the head, and she says, "Okay, this young man is the one that hit me in the head." I don't think she's a rat. So
But now in our community, in our city, I can't speak for nobody else's city because I don't really know too much about that, John, let alone statistic wise. But in our city, just telling in itself, whether you're a civilian, regular, everyday civilian, you ain't into the streets and nothing like that, or if you are in the streets, they look at telling as just telling in general. But at the same token, the question does that really help the community with the crime? Because, like for an example, like you say, you see somebody doing something, and it's just wrong, and you ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Like, you ain't doing no crime. Why wouldn't you tell to help the situation versus just allowing that joint to happen. Something happened, nigga robbed somebody, boom, now police all running around and shit and you witness that joint and you see it. You ain't got nothing to do with it. The cops running around with a chicken with their head cut off trying to find the person, and the person standing right there. Yeah. It's cool for a regular civilian to say, "Hey, officer, he right there."
Oh, that's a different one.
Right, I'm saying if we're gonna make the scenarios,
yeah,
we're gonna make that as a scenario. Is that cool?
So wait a minute. All right. When you say make the scenarios, we talking about civilians and regular people that's involved in the game, right?
Right. And I mentioned, and I
So
mentioned
when we go ahead, because I want to understand what you're saying before I respond.
I said you got a situation where, for an example, so let's just say a carjacking type joint. So we can, we see that you walking across the mall, the plaza, the shopping plaza, and you see a guy. Yeah.
No, ask me to join. I'm joining.
Oh, okay. You see a guy in the mall, and somebody trying to take their car. They snatch their car. They snatch their vehicle. Right? Boom. You see it, and let's just say you know who it was or something like that. Probably gonna have to take this joint off.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you're going back up. I probably got to take it off.
Okay, go.
Yeah. I got you. So you see a crime going. It don't have to be a carjacking. It'd be a robbery. And the police is on the scene and you see it. You watched it from the start to the finish. The police coming around, they looking, hey, did you see something? Did you see this? Did you see that? If somebody say, yes, officer, I saw that, is that considered snitching? Like, is that a bad thing? You ain't had nothing to do with it. Would you put yourself in a position to tell? I'm talking about you and you, not what they do. I'm talking about you and you.
Me personally, no.
Why?
This is none of my business. I mean, I'm
See,
not.
so that's what
you cannot finish. I'm
No,
not.
you
Right, no, but I'm just saying. I'm gonna add a little context to it. I'm just no. It's not none of my business because, for real, if I see somebody, carjacking or taking something from somebody, I'm gonna mind my business because that's not affecting it's not affecting me. I mean, it may sound cold, but it's not. It doesn't affect me. It's not affecting my family. It doesn't affect anything that's connected to me. So even if I did cross that line, which I never would, that puts not only me in jeopardy, but I don't know what's going on with them. That'll put my family in jeopardy. So in some cases, you were taught. You were taught not to tell, but you also were taught sometimes you got to mind your business because everything's not your business. But now, when I say somebody's involved, like you're putting someone else involved, or when you're doing something, committing crimes, and someone else that has nothing to do with it, and they involve you, then now you can use that scenario as, yo, I ain't got nothing to do with that. And they're implicating me or involving me, and you're just a regular civilian. That's the decision that they got to make because their life is on the line. But for me to just witness it and to see something going on, and it has nothing to do with me, it doesn't affect me, it doesn't affect my family, then I mind my business. There's nothing wrong with minding your business. You don't got to run to everything you see. No. If it doesn't affect you and it doesn't affect your home and it doesn't jeopardize your wife or your kids or whatever, then sometimes it's best to mind your business. You don't run in everybody's business and affair, and because you see somebody doing wrong, you tell. No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Right.
All right. So you want me to answer
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Go ahead. You can answer that, John. Again.
Well, all right. I'm kind of like of the same opinion of Marcel. I was a young boy. I was probably like 16 years old, and I was watching. Me and one of my homies was together. Me and my man Bo and shit. We was together, and we come up on the corner. And this dude is beating the brakes off this woman. Like he beating the shit out this woman, right? So naturally you say, yo, man, leave her alone, man. What you putting your hands on her for? He was like, yo, mind your business, right? So we walked over there. He was teeing off on her. I mean, teeing off on her. He said, yo, mind your business. I said, we said, yo, stop hitting on that fucking woman. The first thing he said, do you know what this bitch did? Like, yo, we don't care what she did. Stop hitting this woman. He said, she left my kids in the house for 3 days with no food and nothing to drink and was out smoking fucking crack. This bitch lucky I don't kill her. So right then and there, I was like, damn. He said, I work hard, man. She left my kids in the whole crack house, man. They could have been raped, molested, or anything happened to my fucking babies while she was out getting high. She just left my fucking kids. You know what I'm saying? And when I saw that, I was like, you know, because you don't know what happened. So I'm under the same opinion as Marcel. Like, you know, now if I see a man like trying to rape a woman or beating on an old lady, then I'm gonna get involved. But as far as like some crime, some shit happened, like a dude could shoot a motherfucker in front of me, right? And the police say, which direction he go? I don't know. Well, yeah, he might have shot him and murdered him, but that might have been retaliation for something that he did to his mother or his family member.
Right.
So a lot of times things ain't what they appear. So, you know, I'm on the same type time as Marcel. Like, you dig what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you don't know what happened. You don't know what's going on. Like, you know, this man could have probably, you know, he could be robbing the store because, you know, his mom got cancer and he needs some money to get some treatment. We don't know.
Yeah, I got you.
So, you know, so I'm under that same opinion. Like, you know, I'm not here to do police work. I'm here to get a Pepsi.
Right. Yeah, I'm with both of you. I just wanted to throw that question, that particular question out there just to get a little understanding because a lot of people don't know the difference between telling and snitching, or they think they know and this and that, or I wouldn't tell and this and that. But now when you start talking about being a criminal already
Okay.
and being involved in criminal activities and then shit comes your way with the law enforcement, you know, coming your way.
Yeah.
Now, you know, the dynamics of it changes.
Yes.
Whereas, you know, two people got caught up, one got jammed up, and now, I mean, two people got into a crime, and then one get jammed up, and this nigga telling so he can get out and all the above and stuff like that. That's the shit that I don't understand. How does that shit help the community on the law enforcement agent helping, you know, the society? Like, how do they allow that shit to keep going to the point where it's like it's supposed to help crime?
I think it don't. I think it does the opposite. Can I tell you how?
Go ahead.
Because a motherfucker know he can do the most wretched shit out here. He can sell as much dope as he want. And a lot of dudes, I think, break the law. And I think they have it in their mind that if I get caught, I'm telling.
Yo, wallah, I was about to say the same thing. A lot of times,
Yes.
they put that, like when you dealing, like for an example, like a drug dealer, he got that mind frame of like, yeah, when I get this, I get that. You know, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. But you know, keep in mind, he has the game plan for it. The niggas tried to rob us, or
No.
you know, you have the dummy stash here, and you have the real stash here. They also think about if they get caught, I'm telling.
Already.
They telling. That shit is already in the game plan of these niggas because this shit just lays right out. And a lot of people, they, you know, most dudes that say like, I ain't gonna tell, or, you know, I'm a stand up nigga. You don't know what the fuck you gonna do until you get tested with that situation.
Facts.
Naturally, you're gonna say it.
Yeah.
But a lot of these niggas never been in a situation to say, I stood up.
Yeah.
You never went through nothing to say, I stood on business. Nigga, you ain't doing shit. Of course you gonna say that. You're supposed to say that. That's the natural thing to say.
Yeah.
But let's see when you sitting in that motherfucking room by yourself without the, you know, the mics and all that shit, and you just see that fucking window and that boy standing in front of you saying, you know you fucked up, right? You said 11 o'clock, now it's 12 o'clock. Yeah, that's when the reality of that shit kicks in. That's when we know, oh yeah, you a stand-up person. But like we were saying earlier, a lot of these motherfuckers get them handcuffs on them and they hold in court in the back seat of that cop car.
Oh yeah, they tell him. Yeah.
Before that cop put that bitch in drive to take you to the district, you already running your mouth. Officer, if you stop at this light right here and make a left, the bull over there, you know, all that goofy ass shit, and then they allowing them niggas to get out.
Yeah, well,
That shit not helping.
some of these
community,
niggas be
man.
telling so much the motherfucking computer be running out of gigabytes. Ain't no gigabytes left. Like, yo, you see that shit on the first 48. Motherfucker, I ain't do it. And then when they catch you, be like, 2 minutes later, that nigga got a Pepsi and some Crown Chicken. Once he got that Pepsi and that Crown Chicken, you know he telling on everybody. But I got another one for you, right? I got another one, all right? I don't want you to answer this too, Milk, or Marcel, whoever. Let's say if me and Marcel take a ride. Right. I got guns and drugs in the car. Mm-hmm. He don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm just taking him to the gym to drop him off, right? Or I got just drugs in the car, whatever, right? And we get pulled over, right? We get pulled over, and they're my drugs. Now, mind you, Marcel don't know shit about this. And the first thing, of course, naturally, they ain't mine, right? And we both go to jail over this joint, right? How does that work? Now, he didn't know.
Right.
Marcel didn't know. This is how I was moving.
As far as like how they go between us. from the start.
Yeah, how it goes? So is Marcel gonna say they not his because they really not? He didn't know it was in the car. He wasn't gonna make no money from this deal.
Right.
He didn't know none of this stuff.
Right. Well, he can answer that, John, too, because his name was involved in it. But let me get a little answer to that, John.
Mm-hmm.
If I was that second person and that was your situation, once we get stopped, we get jammed up.
Mm-hmm.
We got to go through the process. I'm already making it known to you. That's not mine.
Yup.
I ain't got nothing to do with that, bro. I'm going through the motions. I gotta go through the motions at that particular time.
Yeah.
I can't tell the cop right then and there, because that's just me.
Yeah.
That's my position. That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not telling the officer, that's not mine. That's his. I'm telling you that because now you got to take the responsibility to stand up. Now, once we go down to the district, we go through the fingerprints and all that shit. Mm-hmm. You still got time to let them know that was yours.
So what I tell you, what me and him never had this conversation.
That's crazy.
Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah, you got time to let them know. Now, if it get to that point where we dragging that joint out and you sitting there like, no, we ain't doing it, we ain't gonna do that. All right, now we got a problem. Now we got a problem.
Verbatim.
Now we got a problem.
I said that verbatim. Yeah, because what I said was, by you saying if this is my shit and by me saying it ain't mine, what I'm saying indirectly that it's Marcel's. And what I also said too was, I said if the bell, both our bells is 100,000, right? And to get out, and you only got 100,000, you're not belling you out. You get me the fuck out. Right? And if you ain't got no lawyer money, but for one person, that lawyer money's for Marcel, it ain't for me. Because he had nothing to do with that.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? Because by you saying, because what you're doing is, I don't know if you call that dry snitching, but you implicate me on some shit. Now, if I made a decision, if he made a decision, Marcel made a decision to get in the car with me, I said, listen, I'm going to sell these 5 joints, I'm going to give you a stack, then he in it all the way.
Yeah, we together in that junk. And we got to go all the way down to the house with it.
Yeah.
And we got to sit down and figure out before they separate us, and we don't know what the fuck to say to our lawyer. Because at that point, they're going to separate the shit out of us. Yeah. Now our stories is fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You just got to be smart enough not to go in there and be like, well, what the Black Gabe said.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my answer. That ain't no, just no political type junk. That's just the reality of that junk. But again, it turns back to the codes of the street, like Git was mentioning earlier. I think it was off cam. There is no code no more. Niggas just doing whatever they want. Now, this is my thing. If you're a part of that lifestyle, you're a part of that entertainment of criminal activities, why the fuck these niggas allow that shit when dudes come back home?
Oh.
When they come back out on the street, we all criminals. We all doing illegal activity. We sitting around. Yeah. We ain't never get caught. We ain't get jammed up. We out here having a good time. But we know, damn, so-and-so told, yeah, man, I heard. Now the nigga back on the block. Why do motherfuckers make these niggas feel comfortable?
You know their number one line is, this must be some new shit. Well, he ain't telling on me.
Wow. And then they see him, and then it's like, I gotta act like he cool, but kind of like keep my conversation to the short or to a minimum because I don't want to get caught up. But you don't even allow these people to feel uncomfortable.
That's why they do it.
You don't even allow these people to feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's why the snitching thing, like nobody don't even care. But I know when I was growing up and I had the older guys that was moving around doing different little things, when jokers came around, they was telling and stuff like that. If it was somebody that they knew they really felt like some type of way, they would at least let them know you ain't never allowed back around here.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah, back in the day.
Keep it moving. But if it's somebody that caused problems, stop them from getting their money, or they never really fuck with them like that, they beating that nigga ass.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to the stream of, killing the nigga. I don't know nothing about that part, but I'm just at the bare minimum, at least whooping a nigga ass.
Facts.
But now it's just like, damn, that's the boy that told, hey, what's up, man? Oh, yeah, when you get out, yeah. Damn, what you was doing up in that junk? Nigga, you know he was talking. What the fuck is you hanging around these niggas for?
I got a better one for you. Not only do niggas know that these niggas be cool rats, but they still continue in criminal behavior with them. Especially if the nigga, especially if he got the work.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Damn, his numbers is 10 His number's $5 grand below everybody else's number. Of course they are. He getting the work from the feds.
Right. I remember one time I asked you about a particular individual, and I was like, "Damn, why do people still fuck with him?" And you said, "Milk, because he can get to the work."
Yes. Yes.
And niggas know it.
Yes. Yes. Niggas is backwards.
That shit sad.
Niggas will not sit on the toilet at a club, right? Because they don't want to get AIDS from the toilet, but they will fuck a bitch in that club raw that night. I've never seen someone contract AIDS from a toilet.
It's crazy. But listen,
Am I right
also,
we ain't gonna sit on no toilet in no club, right?
Yeah.
But you will fuck a bitch you met in that club raw that night.
Yeah. But listen, now smoothing that jaw onto similar to the same subject, but smoothing that jaw on, like when we was talking about earlier, what were we talking about? Dealing with the retaliation of our city being so infested with crime.
Okay.
We was talking about trying to get the numbers right and stuff like that, because at one point everything was a crime. I remember when the carjacking was all high, the robbery was all high. Every time we turn around, wake up in the morning, somebody shot here, 2 people shot here.
Yeah.
Then it was the epidemic of women getting shot and stuff like that.
Yes.
Is the numbers dropping down? Like, is the crime dropping down?
What?
Because we was all like, the media kept hyping every damn thing up.
Well, the media is always gonna, put out something to keep the public in fear. That's what they do. The media is even when you take it back to COVID, everything was the numbers is rising, the numbers is rising, the numbers is rising.
Yeah, facts.
So the first thing that they're gonna always bring up is murder in the inner city. We had 15 shot over the weekend, or the crime rate is up, or this girl got shot, or a little baby got shot in the car while her mom would, they're always going to promote violence. They're always going to promote violence. But as far as the murder rate, I think that it's dropped. I don't think it's as high as it was in the last few years.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think the murder rate has dropped, and it's not as bad as the media makes it out to be, But that's first. First, the media's job is to keep fear in the people. Mm-hmm. And what better way to keep promoting fear is violence here and violence in the city. But I don't think it's as bad as it was. And if you even go back to when that drill music shit was kind of hot, going on, and it was hot and heavy, it sort of died down a lot. So I think the crime rate has dropped. I think it's dropped this year.
You got some statistics for us, Gabe?
Well, what I will say,
because you the only one that be reading. Get me reading too sometimes.
Oh, he got the serious shit.
I mean, I ain't worried about you. That shit don't bother me.
Look like he bit an onion, man. All right, but I'm
just listening to you guys.
I think we a team.
Don't want to play games. We want to play.
But I think I think the murder rate is dropped in Philly? Probably so, because we out here. But I do know how statistics work with criminal justice. We had this conversation before. Every crime or major crime is reported to something called the UCR, the Uniform Crime Report. Mm-hmm. This is the federal statistics. This what the feds call the UCR, the Uniform Crime Report. But the problem with the Uniform Crime Report is that it can be a murder, right, or a theft or a robbery, right, and a person gets arrested. So let's say if a person gets arrested, right, that gets marked as solved. With the Uniform Crime Report, it gets marked as this person was basically convicted, and it looks like the criminal justice system is working.
Oh, but before they even go to court.
Yes, yeah, and it could have been like wrong person was picked up, the wrong person was arrested, and then or it could show that the case was thrown out. But the Uniform Crime Report doesn't show that. It just deals with arrest. So it's an illusion.
Oh, that's the same too, because like, not to cut you off, that's the same. If you go to court and you get in front of the judge, they'll say you've been arrested 30 times.
Yes.
Even if you got convicted once.
Yes.
They don't say you got convicted once. They just mention the arrest.
Yes.
Because that sounds more, violent than the actual, like you could.
Or it shows that the criminal justice system is working.
Right. You could have went through the whole, got the cases dropped or beat the cases. Yeah. And I remember I specifically said that at that particular time when the judge had mentioned my job, and I turned around and said, and I beat my cases.
You said that to the judge?
Yeah, I said I beat my cases, and then of course my lawyer told me to shut the hell up. But
Yeah,
that was my first time.
But
being
that's
in
but see
court,
that's the
whatever.
truth though. So the UCR, the Uniform Crime Report, doesn't deal with convictions.
Yeah,
It
they don't
only
care
deals with
about that.
arrests.
Yep.
So when
You're
you get those
absolutely right about
statistics
that.
that come out, right, it looks like
Yeah, that
that
was a crazy
we're
moment.
fighting crime. It looks
nigga
like
said
crime is
that.
going down.
That don't mean nothing.
It looks like crime is going down, but in actuality, crime ain't going down. It's something else called a dark figure in crime, which deals with unreported criminal behavior. Let's take rape, for instance, or sexual assault, right?
Mm-hmm.
So many girls have been sexually assaulted in college or raped in college, but they won't report it. And I'm gonna tell you why, especially why women won't report it. It's interesting too. Like, this won't sound weird, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Let's say if, because in college, a lot of stuff happens. So a lot of white girls get trains pulled on them in college by athletes. This is a
By
fact.
accident.
By athletes.
Oh, athletes.
Oh yeah. And no regular boys. Like white girls, they love them trains. So what wind up happening is, let's say if it's 6 dudes, right? She let 5 dudes hit, and the 6th dude goes to penetrate. She's like, no, I'm cool. He penetrates her anyway, has sex with her, he finishes. That's technically rape or sexual assault.
So forget the.
You understand what I'm saying? Technically,
yeah.
that is, but the reason why she doesn't report it, or women don't report sexual assault and those types of things that happen to them, is because now when she takes that stand, her whole sexual history and background is going to come out.
Right.
She doesn't want to be humiliated. She doesn't want to look like a whore, even though a lot of women, some of them allow certain behavior. But when she says no, man, that's done.
No, yeah.
Done deal. You know what I'm saying? So that's called a dark figure in crime. And that happens, that's really prevalent in college and in universities.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with all them drugs. Like, how they just really, no. Because, girls got several types of no. Well, don't stop playing. Right? But so how do you rationalize, like not rationalize, but how do you understand what that really
differentiate
means?
that jump?
How do you differentiate no from no?
Yeah, but that's why
bass in the voice.
Yeah, that's why they say no means no.
Yeah, that's true. But we've been in situations before where, man, come on, girls.
Yeah, no means come. Keep going.
Yeah, so
or try harder.
And when you mix that with alcohol, I don't want to rear up the past, but so you have that type of behavior that happens in universities where girls are sexually assaulted all the time, but they don't report it because now your parents got to come to trial and hear that you don't had sex with about 7-8 dudes up here this semester, and they black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you look at it, is Philly really fighting crime? I mean, you never really could tell. So like Marcel said, a lot of times they'll say criminal behavior is up because he said it's a fear tactic. And the number one thing about fear is that once the media uses that propaganda to put fear into people's hearts, what's the first thing that people do when they feel fear? We'll give up our civil rights. We'll give up our constitutional rights so we can be protected. Right? Because the enemy, they're coming. Where they at? I don't know. Where they coming from? I don't know. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to allow you to just throw away Terry versus Ohio, stop and frisk. We're going to allow you to just pull over and jump out. Remember they used to have the jump out squads back in the day? Right. Because they were supposedly fighting crime. But that shit didn't work.
No.
And he said it right. They use fear. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes during political season, they say crime is down 15%. Okay.
Right. To make
Not
it look
around
good
here,
for the politician. It's a game to make it look good for whoever's in office or trying to run.
Right.
So to make it seem like they're doing their job.
Absolutely.
So, crime is down, but in reality, it's not changing.
All right, let me now that we steered from there, and y'all both made some good points about the crime being down, and you came up with a few statistics, and you came up with your own understanding. If we feel, and our opinion don't hold fucking shit, according to the government or whatever, but if we're not getting those high numbers, those reports, why are we looking? Why is Philadelphia known as? Why is that John understood as being a high crime rate? Like being known for high crime. If the numbers is dropping, you mentioned that the numbers was dropping, or did I miss that?
So I guess you're saying why
I think Marcel said
the numbers have dropped.
I'm sorry.
I don't have the actual percentage, but it's not as high as it was within the last couple of years. But you're saying why is Philly known as, like, let's say the murder?
Yeah, amongst our politicians and our.
Well, again, it's again, and now if you're gonna run that route, it's a scare tactic. The politicians are only gonna push that especially come time
But
to.
there's nothing happening with that junk. It ain't even like they doing anything. So what's the point
What
of
is this?
scaring?
So
What's the point of scaring the people?
it is the point of the scaring them is to say, okay, all right, say you running for office. You're gonna pay whatever news media. You're gonna keep pushing that, and we're gonna make sure that we're fighting crime. We're gonna keep our neck. We're gonna keep police active in high crime areas. We're gonna do everything we have to do to get these criminals and guns and drugs off the street. That's what they're pushing. So then we come every day. There's murders. There's murders. There's murders. Now they may even double back and say we made such and such arrests, or we clean for Kensington Avenue, the heavily drug area, Kensington Avenue. We're sweeping everything down. We're making drug raids. We're making drug arrests. The news promotes all of that. The news can tell you there's crime. The crime is on the rise, and the news can also tell you that they're making significant arrests and changes in certain areas. We won't really know. We don't really know unless we're really in there with them. So it's a game that they play. But when you saying why is Philly looked at as one of the murder capitals? Because of it's just that past history. Mm-hmm. That past history. Even when you look at Chicago, I used to hear the numbers. 50 people got shot. And I'm like, how the fuck in one city did 50 people get shot in one day? That's like some shit that happened in war. And I never understood that.
I don't even know if 50 people get shot on the battlefield.
50 people not getting shot like that over in them wars. So I used to say to myself, wait. How the fuck 50 people get shot over the weekend? What the fuck is going on over there? So then it made me think that the police were firing on you, and then a set was firing over here, or somebody's over there shooting blacks, because blacks ain't killing blacks at that high rate.
I didn't even look at it at that angle. Yeah,
blacks ain't killing blacks. Like if we beefing, I'm not out on the corner waiting. I'm hiding because you looking for me. I'm looking for you. So I'm trying to creep up on you. But for you to hit 50 people in one night, how? And we all been in the streets. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know about you young fellas. But us growing up in the streets, even at the height of shit, at the height of crime, when the murder rate was high at one time, when we go back into the 90s and
the crack epidemic, yeah.
50 people ain't get shot in one night here. Even with the JBM and the Jamaican shower posse and all that.
I remember that shit.
50 people didn't get shot over the weekend. 10 people didn't die like that in the hood like that in 1 week. Even with the mafia. Maybe 10. You stretching it.
But I mean, maybe a couple times.
But you know what, Marcel? But you know what? I'm gonna tell you something, Marcel.
Listen, though. Now, it was high, but 10 people in one night, 10 murders in your city in one night every weekend. Something's wrong.
But you know what that could be too as well?
Something's wrong. The numbers is off.
But you know what that could be too, like Marcel said? That could be, I'm not gonna say it's propaganda, but it could be propaganda, which is information to help or harm a cause, right? That could be the narrative that they're painting so they could when they solicit the government for more funding for the police departments and justify all this overtime and justify these raises and salaries.
I didn't think about that part either.
Yeah, they can get that joint. They can get that joint because they're showing you these statistics.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, I'm in social services. Whatever I write down on paper.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Everything is off of statistics anyway.
Yeah.
And like you said, they're controlling the paperwork anyway. Even though we may be seeing amongst what's going on. Yeah. And like you said, how the fuck this happened, how that happened, where the fuck that's coming. That's why I'm saying it's like, it's just crazy when you got that known, but it's like they put that in our head, in our youth heads and stuff like that, in the inner city people head, and it's just like they entertained by that shit.
But you know what else?
When you say they entertain, what do you?
I'm talking about the people, the kids in the street. They're entertained by that, so they add to that shit. They be a part of it, or they make themselves be a part of it.
I'm gonna bounce off of that. So let me tell you what that does also. Because Marcel said that shit is funny, right? But it's real. Like 50 people don't get shot in war in one day. I've never seen on BBC News when they was fighting the Taliban or fighting over here in Iran or Iraq. I mean, I never heard 50 soldiers or 50 insurgents getting shot. That's incredibly high, right? But what that does is that has a real negative effect on the city as well, which most people don't realize is because now when you're giving me these high numbers, I'm more
cautious about the shit.
I'm more cautious about shooting you first because I think you're gonna shoot me. Yeah. So now we could be having a regular argument, but since this dark cloud is over the city, I'm thinking about getting you out the way right now because I'm thinking you're gonna get me out the way. So it puts this air of paranoia. Mm-hmm. It puts this paranoia in the air for people to start really saying, you know what, I'm gonna move on him before he move out on me. That nigga might have said, I'm gonna be right back because his cheesesteak just got done. You know what I'm saying? You think he's going to get a burner, come back and murder you because, like Marcel said, it's all on the news. So it causes paranoia in the city with people. Like, and it causes us as black people really not to trust one another. You see a young boy walking down the street, man, you think, man, I'm gonna kill this little nigga. You don't even know him. But that is the narrative that's being written in the city of Philadelphia. Now, we ain't saying there ain't no murders. We ain't saying these little motherfuckers ain't crazy. But what I'm saying is, at the rate in which they're saying it, I might have to agree with Marcel on that joint.
Yeah, and that's why I said it bounced off these ignorant people, these ignorant youth. It's like they feed off of that junk.
Yeah, they do.
They entertained by that shit, so they want to be a part. Right, it makes them more violent, and it gives them the energy to keep going on. Like how they. I don't think it was maybe about a couple years ago when they was making that shit known when Philly had all these fucking murders going on, and they were all on social media popping that shit out there like. Who gonna be the first one to catch a homicide in the new year? Yeah. Like, how do you fucking entertain your life with shit like that?
Yeah. You see it on the news.
But that was you going back to that when it was like that drill music.
Oh, I don't know if the drill music was a part of it. I'm just saying.
That's when it was.
Yeah. I ain't saying it wasn't.
I'm just saying that's when.
But it put all that adds into it. All of it adds into it. Like they that drill music shit. Yeah. You feeding into that shit. These niggas entertain making that type of stuff, so that's giving them that energy to do that shit.
But see, that was the norm. Like when the drill music was, you got to do this shit on. It ain't a body if you don't do it on film, and you got to go back. Yes, and then you got to go back and you got to tell how you did it.
Yeah, that shit dumb as shit.
What?
When that shit was at the height.
Oh my god!
It was. You gotta let that shit be known that you did this shit, how you did it, and you go right back and you make a video of, and then you throwing your subliminals in there of how it went down. That shit was real heavy over there in Chicago. It was here in Philly. It was.
You know where that shit started at? No, drill music started in the UK.
For real?
That shit started in London, in the UK.
How the hell you know?
Where there ain't no guns.
How the hell you know?
I know.
So how the hell you know that, boo?
Mexico, I know the cartels do that.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that shit started. I think drill music started in the UK. If I'm mistaken.
Gabe found all that shit out in 2 weeks in the UK.
Well, I'm only gonna let Milk talk that shit because he ain't never told on nobody. Milk will kill himself like one of them motherfucking samurais. You motherfuckers stab themselves and drag the knife across their belly.
This nigga went over UK for 2 weeks and he know every goddamn thing about that damn country. This boy crazy.
Put the camera on me. We had one time when I could have told on Milk. Flip the camera. So flip the camera. Let me tell y'all a quick story. I'm gonna tell y'all a quick story. Hey Sal, here goes a quick story, right? So me and Milk, we coming back from Panama, right? It wasn't for drugs, it was for a martial arts tournament, right? So we land in Panama, right? Now, I'm sitting right near, I'm in the very back of the plane at the last seat, right? So I'm sitting back there chilling, I'm thorough as shit, right? So the pilot land the plane, boom, boom, he come over the announcement, can everybody sit still? The federal marshal's about to come on this motherfucking plane, right? So I'm like, they coming to get me. Now I ain't dead shit, but we black. So we thinking they coming to get us, right? So Milk up front, bald ass head, right? You can tell when the feds got on the plane, as soon as they got on the plane, Milk head was like this. Right? He gonna leave his head like he was asleep. You ain't sleep, nigga. Get the fuck up. Yo, hey Marcel, look, because I'm looking at the back of his head because we in the same row, but I'm all the way in the back. So Milk shit like this. So the feds come on, they look at Milk, they look at everybody, right? So now they getting close to me. They coming all the way back. So I'm I'm in the very back of the plane. I'm like, oh shit. Them motherfuckers run right down on me, right? They're like, what's your name? I told them my name. Said, let us see your passport. They looked at my passport. They said, let me see your driver's license. I showed them a driver's license, right? So you like, stand up, turn around, let me see your molar teeth. Like, motherfucker, what you doing, a forensic check on me, nigga, right? So now I'm like, yo, I'm going to jail, right? So they went back up the plane, right? Milkhead went this way, right? So they looked at Milk. Milk got his eyes closed. Milk looked at the motherfucker. You ain't sleep, motherfucker. Right? He was snoring. I could hear him snoring from the back of the motherfucking plane. Them motherfuckers snatched Milk off that motherfucking plane, right? Now, for the record, Milk didn't do shit wrong. Somebody was using his name when they did some shit, right? This is the truth, right? Yeah, so we getting off the motherfucking plane, right? I'm walking. They got Milk handcuffed on the side. So they don't take him to the back. You know, right when you get off the plane, they got him shackled right here in the left-hand side. They get off the plane. They're like, what's your relation to him? You know him? I said, no, we the same religion. And I walked right off. That was it.
No. What happened was, look, after they came and so-called woke me up, they was like, what's your name? Where's your passport? I was like, oh, my passport in my bag. Right? They said, what's your name? What's your name? I said, wow, what's going on? So he's like, stand up. So he did the same thing. Let me see your arms and all that, looking for tattoos and all this shit. And then the motherfucker went in my pocket, tapped my pocket, said, oh, this your passport right here. I said, oh, shit. Yeah, that is. So he opened the joint up. Boom. But they had a piece of paper with my photo on that joint. So he looked at the joint, looked at that. He said, okay. He started talking and all this bullshit. Then everybody come on. Boom. He said, turn around, all this shit, right? Handcuff me. Like he said, they take me out in the joint. So I'm thinking about my luggage and all that type of shit. So I was like, yo, my brother on the plane. He on the plane too. So they said, all right, we'll get this stuff to him. I said, no, get my stuff to my brother now, man, because I don't know what y'all getting ready to do. We was in Washington.
Yep, Dulles
we landed
Airport.
in Washington. And so they stopped me right at the tunnel where, you know, where the people had the wheelchairs and all that shit. They stopped me right there. So
they had him in the Hannibal Lecter mask to join with the two steel plates.
So listen, so they started letting everybody go off, right? And then as they going off, you know, you got a little short view of seeing about 10 people before they start turning. I was like, there go my brother right there. I'm standing like this. There go my brother right there. And they was like, saying, I said, him right there. He was like, yo, you his brother? And he was like, no. And kept walking. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck?
I don't know nothing, man.
Yeah.
No habla inglés.
Yeah.
I don't speak no English. I don't speak no Spanish. I don't know what y'all talking about.
But yeah, but alhamdulillah, everything got situated. It took some time. I had to sit there, get sent all the way back to Philly and everything. I stayed over there for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I got out of that.
But I did say I was going to stay in D.C. and wait for you.
Yeah.
He's like, nah, go ahead home or whatever the case may be. I had to get home.
Matter of fact, Wanzo was with us.
Yeah.
Wanzo didn't even look at me when he got out the plane. He didn't even say nothing. He was like, all right, stay strong, soldier. Wanzo just kept walking. That nigga had that little head back on his back.
Yeah, it was crazy too because it was at a crucial time in Milk's life because he had to get home. Because, no, it was at a crucial time. He had to get home. He had a midget pregnant. His brother had a tall baby. You know what I'm saying? But yo, they had him in the joint. He like, nigga, my brother right there. So I don't, we in faith. I said we brothers in faith, and I kept walking like. But back to dudes telling. But here's an interesting fact though. Let me ask y'all a question though about all of this telling, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think that people should get reduced sentences for telling that was complicit or agreed to commit these crimes? You think they should get a reduced sentence?
The question is, should people get reduced sentence for telling?
Yes.
As a reward for telling. Just like they give people a reward for, you know, for your cooperation, telling on somebody in the street, you get the money.
Yeah, the reward. Yeah.
Yeah. So if a criminal does it, should they get? No, I don't think they should get. Rewarded because you in the crime. You part of that crime. Fuck no.
Yeah. No, why would you? No. I mean, if you involved, you all the way in. What is it? In for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying?
But that's
So,
why
I mean,
that's what I was saying earlier. Like, how does that help?
when you you gotta when you say how does it help? What does it help meaning? Help what?
Oh, help them.
Lower. Yeah.
Yeah, and lower the
Lower the
criminals,
crime
the
rate.
police,
He's talking about lowering the crime rate.
Yeah, and lower the crime rate. Like, how does that help when you you still got him locked up.
Yeah.
And you still got the one you told on locked up, but you just got the shorter time for the one who told.
So when it says how does it help? How does it help the police?
No, how does
No,
the crime
like
rate go
yeah.
down?
By using snitches?
Yeah. Because they both still locked the hell up, regardless of the time. So, like, what's the point of it?
I think I still think it perpetuates crime. I think it allows dudes to say, you know what? If I do get caught, I got to out. So I'm gonna continue to do this criminal behavior. So I think the police allowing dudes to rat and get reduced sentences, I think it hurts society. I don't think it helps society. I think it really hurts society. Because if people know that, if the people know that the feds or the state ain't taking no pleas, you going straight to jail and all this other stuff. People,
that shit, them motherfuckers will stop. They'll think about that.
They're gonna think more.
Right.
Some gonna still do it, but they're gonna think more. So we dug up some statistics. Want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead. Take your time, brother.
All right.
I know you like reading. Go ahead.
No, I know I don't. All right. So basically, here it says the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia Federal Court handles about 1,500 to 2,000 federal criminal cases per year. It says if 15% involves substantial assistance, that 225 to 300 Philadelphia area federal defendants per year. So about 225 to 300 people a year get sent to the feds, it's saying here. Over the last 5 years, that would mean that roughly 1,100 to 1,500 people in Philadelphia's federal cases receive sentence reductions for cooperation. That's crazy, right? Here's another stat, right? It says the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office doesn't publish stats on how many defendants flip or how many defendants rat.
Right.
It says plea bargaining is huge in Pennsylvania. About 90 to 95% of cases end in pleas, and cooperation is often part of those deals. So 90 to 95% people cop out to the feds. We knew this without even reading this shit.
That's why they got that high
But these stats are saying that the reason why 90 to 95% of the people take a plea bargain because they've been told on. So snitching is at 90+%. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I remember an individual, another brother.
Oh, this is the last thing. It says, based on research in other large cities, it's safe to say thousands of Philadelphia defendants each year cooperate in some form or fashion, giving statements or testifying against or providing information, even if it's not counted as substantial assistance in this motion. And also it says here that in Philadelphia, not only do these dudes cooperate on shootings, but they also cooperate on people that sell drugs, people that steal cars, people that scam.
They got no picks.
So these niggas ain't got no picks on what they telling on. So they can be up there for stealing horses, but they gonna tell who's selling heroin. They gonna tell who's stealing cars. They gonna tell who's scamming.
And then just like somebody just made a point, what makes it even more fucked up, what about the niggas that be telling but be lying at the same fucking time?
Oh, wow. How about dudes who jump on other people's cases and tell on them that don't even know?
They don't have shit to do with it.
I saw that in the barbershop one time. A guy came in the barbershop on Broad and Susquehanna and was talking about a guy that his brother was selling drugs with. Not only when the guy got caught, he told on the guy he was dealing with, and he told on his brother who wasn't even a drug dealer.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
He went to jail too. Yeah.
And then he showed up at the next family reunion.
All day long.
Like shit.
And he got the first plate. He got the last piece of macaroni, cheese, and chicken.
Piece, yeah, piece of shit.
So what are we trying to tell the youth? Get a job. What are we telling them? You gonna get caught. Your man who you spending the block with, the man who you bought that switch with, the man who you built that ghost gun with, he gonna tell on you. Because Milk said it earlier. All that shit is real sexy until them folks get you in that office. They talking about each count hold 20 years and you got 15, 20 counts. Yeah. Young boys, really? You gonna do 400 years for your man? Huh? You gonna do 400 months for your man?
These motherfuckers is willing to go to jail like they got fucking girlfriends up there, man. Like that shit is cool.
No, I agree with that. Yeah, I mean,
They'll risk their fucking life for 20 years instead of getting a fucking job for $15 an hour, $20 an hour.
but to brag about working in the prison kitchen for 15 cents a day.
Yeah, like how they was hustling and grinding and shit.
Yeah.
Like that shit is cool. That's entertainment.
But I think a lot of these young boys really don't mind going to jail. Some of them during that time, they don't miss women because when you look at it, I see groups of young boys. I'm like, yo, where the girls at? It's 7 of y'all niggas. Where the girls at?
And
Because
then-
when it was 7 of us, we was back in the day. We was going to a party. We was going to a club. We was going to walk up on some women.
yeah, the parties in the club had the women. That's the reason why we was going.
Yes. You see it. You see 15 of these niggas. They just run around jumping on people's cars.
It's hard.
How you got more shootings than you had blowjobs? You got 6 homicides and you only had sex with 2 women.
One of them still being questioned. Fucking weirdo ass niggas.
That's a fact.
Oh, this shit is crazy, man.
Yo, young boys, I don't know what's going on here. Like, you know, I mean, like,
They need mentors, man.
yeah, I mean, they don't. Yo, you got, but
I think that mentor shit, man, is out the door. At this point, man,
Nah, it's not out the door. It's you got to reach the younger.
The young ones, you gotta.
It's mentoring is never out of the.
is this a boy in the background talking that say he didn't want to be on the podcast?
I'm just saying,
That's
but-
something
not
to say.
you. Not you.
I know who you talking about. But mentoring is not out the door because there's still kids that's looking up to the kids, these young kids that are out here doing these crimes. And if these kids out here looking at like he might, you know, hey, I like the way he dressed, I like the clothes he wear, I like the way he talk, I like his little, you know, that's who they're emulating. That's who they idolize. But you got to reach the youth. So if you
What
got,
age you think when you say
you got to
youth?
start young. You got to start them around 7, 8. Get them involved, 7 or 8. You know, and even if and then you might run into a parent that's a single parent. She has a 5-year-old son. You bring him down, get him involved in something. Keep him around some positive kids, older kids, because there's a lot of kids in these recreational centers that still play ball, that still do positive things. You have to keep them around kids like that, young kids like that, and men that's going to really, you know, be involved with the community. Now, the kids that are already out there, that are the 13 to 14-year-olds, they're gone. I mean, if out of 10 of them, if you could get one, alhamdulillah, you good. But if you really want to make a change in the community, you have to start. Give me these little kids right here before the streets get a hold of them. So no, mentoring is not out. We need more mentors.
Look, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was getting ready to bring up this point, right? At the gym, you know, I keep the garage door open. So, you know, it's a neighborhood, so it's a lot of people walking past. And I caught the young boy walking past with the little mask on his face, hot as shit, with all that dumbass black shit on. Yeah. Right, walk past. And kind of like, because we was all moving around, and it kind of startled a few of the women that was there because, you know, now you see a nigga walking with that shit on, you know, you pause and like, hold on, let me let them motherfuckers walk past. Because we was outdoors, indoors, working out. So nevertheless, when he walked past, he was going to the store. Then he came back. So I had stopped him. It was 3 of them. 2 of them had masks on. 1 of them didn't, but they all still had the same black shit on. So one of them, I said, damn, young boy, when y'all coming in the gym? When y'all coming? Oh, nah, we good, old head. So I said, so let me see you do 25 push-ups real quick. So he's like, nah, I'm good. So I said, no, I'm gonna give you $20. You do 25 push-ups. So one of them said, all right, I got it. Never took the mask on none of that shit, right? Knocked out the 25 push-ups.
You burnt that nigga.
No, I ain't burnt. So once he got done, I went to the desk and I came back and gave him the $20. But before I gave it to him, I said, listen, why don't you take that mask off? So he's like, all right. I said, take it off now. He said, nah, you know, as he taking it off, like flipping it up right here, he like, I'm just trying to be out the way and this and that. So I said, be out the way from what? What are you doing? How you out the way and you just coming from the damn store? Like, what are you talking about? So he's like, all right, I got you. So then I said, look, do me a favor. Every time you walk past here, you got a free pass to come in here and work out with me. If I'm here, you got a free pass to work out with me. All right? But you can't wear that shit. because you look like the individual that's out here doing dumb shit. And I don't want you to be involved in it. I don't even know you. So he's like, all right, I got you. So maybe like 3 or 4 days, I really didn't recognize him because all of them wearing the same shit.
Yeah,
They
they
all
look
the
the
same
same.
height. All of them got the same dirty ass fucking hair. You know what I'm saying? And then so when I seen him, it was just my energy to, to try to play my role of being in the, the area. Like, hey, young boy, come on, work out. So he said, you see, I ain't got my mask on. I ain't got my mask on. He said, you got another dub for me? Then I automatically knew who he was. And I was like, yeah, I got another dub for you, but you got to do 100. He's like, all right, I'll be back. I ain't never seen him on. But I felt like I got to him because he didn't wear the mask on.
Yeah.
He didn't have the mask on.
Yeah.
Whether he seen walking back up the street and said, oh, shit, let me take this joint off to walk past, I don't give a shit. But at the end of the day, I felt like, you got to him or got through to him some kind of way.
Yeah.
But overall, it's hard. Man.
So let me
But
just
it's
tell you
not
this then.
because
He said not.
no, because if you have a place for them, it's hard to keep reaching random kids. But if you have a place for them and you provide a safe haven for them where kids can come, like even at the rec center, even when I did the boxing, I put the boxing together. None of the kids had to pay a membership. You come down here, you good. But you can't come down here with no games, and you can't come if you don't want to learn how to box, and your grades and everything ain't right. You can't come down here. But if you come down here, you're gonna follow rules. Right. That led to teaching kids to follow instructions. This is a part of discipline because this is a routine. Like we all got a routine in life. We get up in the morning. As Muslims, we pray, we brush our teeth, we clean ourselves, we get dressed. I gotta be to work at 9. We make sure we get to work at 9. I got assignments to do from 9 to 5. I got this. So it keeps you on that steady path. I get off, go home, dinner, shower, do what I need to do, go back to bed.
Yeah.
It's my routine.
Real life shit.
Boxing is preparing you for real life shit. You come in here, there's rules that you gotta follow. So I'm giving you that, and I'm talking to you, and I'm not playing with you. I'm giving you stern instructions. Fatherly figure instructions. If you come down here, there's no plan. You follow the rules. You get out of line. I'm coming down on you. You cut up. You sit to the side. Whatever. You come here. I provide a safe space for these kids. So now when you come, you got a daily routine. You come every day. There's no outside distractions. When your parents drop you off with me, you under my umbrella. You follow my instructions. I never raise my voice. I don't believe in putting my hands on other people's kids. But I'm going to talk to you as if you were mine. And you're going to follow these rules and instructions. Because life, there's rules, and there's instructions that you're going to have to follow to get through life. Other kids that want to come that's not involved, and they see me, shut it right down. What you doing here? It could be 5 or 6 something. I don't give a fuck where you at. You ain't here to box. You got to leave. Because you're not going to influence these kids that want to come here,
Facts.
learn how to box, or these kids that's coming to try to escape trouble for 3 or 4 hours every day. They ain't got to deal with that. So if you come here to Coach Gip or Mr. Gip or whatever you want to call me, you under my guidance. And I'm going to make sure that you protect it. Now, if you want to sit down, you having a problem in school, they mom come talk to me, take a seat. Your mom telling me X. So now, if I call you to take a seat, you know you did something. Come here, sit down. Let me talk to you. What's going on in school? Why you talking back to your mom? You want to continue to come down here? We don't tolerate that. You don't talk back to your mom. You need to go to school, get your education. What do you want to be? What do you want to be in life? Give me anything. Give me anything positive. Nothing has to do with the streets. There's so many opportunities out there. Trades. You always can do a trade. Make yourself marketable. Don't just stick to carpentry. Stick to carpentry, electrician, welding, plumbing. So now you're marketable. You can start your own business. And if you want to take it further than that, go to school. Become a lawyer. I had a cousin, right? He was in the streets heavy. Went to jail for robbery. Went to jail, got his life together. He became Muslim in jail, got his life together. He a full-blown doctor.
Oh yeah.
Troy.
Oh yeah, Troy. Yeah.
Full-blown doctor.
Yeah, he medical
He
doctor.
done did 5 years or whatever for armed robbery. Came home, got his life together. He a doctor, full-blown. Own practice. He has his own practice, him and his wife. So it could be done with the right people in your ear. And you
I heard 80% of SEPTA workers are all felons.
No, who told you where you get that
Nah,
stat?
I'm not lying. I'm
Oh,
lying.
yeah. Well, at one time,
That's the water department,
but
yeah.
at one time they weren't hiring felons.
Yeah, but they getting a lot of felons now.
Right. Well,
off
they,
of
but
referrals
they,
and
they,
shit.
they,
No,
they-
I just
I
said
mean,
that
but I'm
just
just saying they're giving you the opportunity. But even if you do get that opportunity at SEPTA, there's room for growth. You know, you could get somewhere in that position and make up to $100,000 a year if they're offering you the position once you get your foot in the door, man. So
These kids don't want to
right,
fucking
right.
job.
So you definitely need to, if you're gonna do a mentoring with these young kids, start young, and you have to have a safe haven for them to come where they can feel comfortable. And if you got 10, then you focus on that 10.
All right, so let me give you
Anybody got some
talk
safe
to the young
havens on
boys
here?
real
Let
quick.
me know right now,
Let me
so I can put you on that.
let me talk to the young boys real quick, right? Young boys, I'm your old head. Even if I ain't your old head, I'm your old head. I'm speaking to the young boys that's spinning the block, young boys that's criminals, that's killing people, that's down and shit, all that hip hop language you use for murder, for drugs and all this other shit. The people who you emulate, or you think you're emulating or copying, the people who you think are heroes, like these rappers and all this other shit, who's telling you to spin the block, it's official now. They all rats too. I'm glad everybody caught Young Thug telling on every motherfucking body now. So when you listen to Young Thug and 6ix9ine and all that, these heroes, or those people who you thought was heroes, they fucking rats. They rats. So when you about to go murder somebody, or just like Young Thug said, just like such and such said, we gonna tear these niggas, blah, 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 blah. When they got in that motherfucking room with them white folks and they was offered $1 million years, they started cooperating. So your gangster rap heroes, them niggas is rats. They all rats. So what does that tell you? Change your life. Like Cuz said, plumbing. If you could build a ghost gun, you could put a pipe in somebody's motherfucking house for plumbing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If you could sit on a nigga for 4 weeks before you shoot him the fuck up, you could sit in the classroom for 4 weeks or 4 months to learn the trade.
Yeah, get some type of damn certificate.
Get some type of certificate. So again, we used to listen to gangster music coming up, NWA, Tupac. We listen to all that shit. But y'all new gangster rappers who talking all this murder one gangster shit, how they doing all this, all of them telling.
And if they haven't told already, that opportunity gonna be up
And
for
if
them.
they haven't
next.
told,
That opportunity's
yes,
gonna be there
it's
next,
coming.
man. Yeah.
Because I'm gonna tell you something right now, young bucks. You and your man, your relationship is fragile. I call it a fragile alliance. Y'all niggas is connected on weed, perks, and switches.
But just like you said, like, you doing crimes by yourself, you ain't got to tell nobody. These niggas are still telling on themselves. They putting it in fucking songs.
Oh God.
They put it in songs.
Where they do that at? And see, let me tell you something, young boys.
That
Listen
doesn't
to
even
this.
make no fucking sense.
Young boys, please, if this reaches you, listen to this. Let's say if you're a drug dealer, right? You change your life. You get a family, you become Muslim, you become Christian, you change your life. You can go to church, you can go to the masjid. You know what I mean? You can get a job, you can raise a family. You good. You know what I'm saying? You good. You can live your life. But when you murder a motherfucker, or you murder several people, right? Remember, you've killed someone's loved one.
Yeah.
So whether you don't took your shahada, whether you got baptized and all that other little stuff, that shit don't matter because you killed my dad. You killed my brother. You killed my cousin. And when I see you, it's on. So it could be 10, 15 years later. You may not still be that same dude anymore. But murder never go away in the minds and the hearts of people, and definitely not with the police, because there ain't no statute of limitation on murder. They'll come and arrest you on your deathbed if they find out that you did it. So any other crime that you can do, you can bounce back from that shit. And since when the murder game become the game that you want to play in the streets, when we was coming up, everybody wanted to get money. We wanted money. Y'all don't want money, y'all want murder. Let me ask you a question. How many young boys, pay attention, how many successful murderers are out there? How many retired murderers that you know? I know some retired drug dealers. I know some retired scammers, car thieves, niggas. I know retired people that used to rob niggas. I know niggas that's retired doing that shit. But I don't know no niggas that retired that used to murder people.
They sitting in the jail cell. That's the only reason why they retired.
Or in the graveyard, because they got
That's it.
retired, forced into early retirement.
How about that?
So your heroes, they all rats. Young Thug, rat. Who the other rappers? Rick Ross was a prison guard. He was locking y'all niggas up, and y'all believing that shit he's saying.
Cause he the boss.
He the boss, and he flipping all these keys. Yeah, he had a bunch of keys to niggas' cells.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? So, young boy, stop listening to this drill shit. And if you do got to put in work for a legitimate reason, I'm not opposed to putting in work if somebody harm my family member. But it got to be, for me, it got to be halal. You know what I'm saying? And it has to be just.
Yeah.
But just run around like murdering people for what? It don't never go away. Yo, you know you ain't living right when you got to wear a motherfucking mask and it's 98 degrees. Like niggas don't know how you walk.
But you still identifying yourself of being somebody that's a problem. At the bare minimum, just being a problem. Like you wearing, it's like, I don't want to be a cop, but I'm going to walk around with a badge on. With the blue uniform on.
Yeah.
Like, that don't make no damn sense.
I mean, for real, me personally, like we when they're talking about them, we beating a dead horse. Me personally, if I'm gonna put my energy, I'm not gonna put my energy into these cats that's already doing it. That's already out here causing problems, causing havoc. That's just wasted energy. The real focus should be on the generation beneath that. That's where we need to focus on, because they're the ones. They're already set in stone. These kids out here they're in bodies, drugs, whatever. They're already, the ship done left the dock. It's gone.
Facts.
You know what I mean? The ship is already out to sea. So we need to.
That's why I said earlier, there's no talking to them jokers, man.
So my point is, you beating a dead horse. So if you really want to,
I mean, the reminder gonna always benefit the believer. Now we know that.
You got to believe first.
I'm not. All right, I understand that, but right now, if we're gonna try to save the kids, we need to get the ones younger than them, the ones that have not been tampered with the streets, and then that starts with, again, starting mentorships or creating safe spaces for them, or trying to reach out to them, or trying to get them involved in stuff. Whether it's, teaching them how to do some type of carpentry work, or let me show you how to do barbering. Let me put a weekend class, whoever interested in barbering or anything. The young brothers here with the technical stuff, teaching them little things like that. There's so many avenues. But then again, people let me tell you something. Working with kids, you got to be one patient person to be dealing with multiple kids and their parents. So you got to be a strong-minded person to be willing to deal with all that. Everybody can't do it. Everybody can't work with kids. Everybody can't work with the community. Because you got to hear everybody's shit. And you got to deal with kids that probably don't have no structure, 9 times out of 10, no home training, no discipline. Their mom let them run wild. They drop them off to you and keep it pushing. So then you got to adjust. So you really got to be that person that's willing to have time, be patient with these kids, and be willing to put in the work. Just can't say you want to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. And it's hard work. It's non-stop hard work trying to reach out and save kids. And you can't save them all. Whether you do basketball, whether you do Pop Warner football, you got to give a shout out to a lot of these coaches and mentors that take the time.
Can I do that myself real quick? I'm going to cut you off. Can I give a shout out to someone that was good to me coming up?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. I want to give a shout out to 2 people, man, that was like a father figure for me coming up. His name is Muhammad Abdul Rahim. He was at North Penn Pal. He was definitely a father figure to me. Especially around, when I was like 13, 14 years old, we played basketball. I did national pal and everything with him, traveling, playing basketball. He was like a father figure to us. He was Muslim, and we used to clown him all the time. And, ironically, I became a Muslim later on. So he was a great influence on me and everybody on 26 in York. And also my coach, Calvin Jones at George Washington High School, who was a major father figure to me. He was my high school coach, and interestingly, I remember he beat me up one day. I disrespected him one day and hit me with a couple body shots and dropped me during the halftime. We was playing King High School. He dropped me in halftime, hit me with a two-piece in my chest and in my ribs, and he straight dropped me. And he said, "You know to disrespect me again, and get your ass out here. It's the second half." So I sat there for a minute, sat on the bench because I had to catch my breath. And I went back out there and I played basketball. I never told the counselor. I never told my mother because I knew I was out of pocket. And he was like a dad to me. And most importantly, I knew I deserved that shit. So I definitely want to give a shout out to him because, if it wasn't for him, by the permission of Allah, Muhammad Abdul Rahim and Calvin Jones, ain't no telling where I would have been. And it is hard work because I was a pain in the motherfucking ass. I was crazy. Now that I look back at it. So he was a great influence on me. Both of those guys were great influences on me.
According to Gip, you was a coward anyway. Go ahead, Gip.
I'm good, man. I'm good. Go ahead. I'm good.
Milk,
So-
who influenced you?
Batman, nigga. No, man, I had a lot of people in my life, man. I had family and stuff like that. I ain't had no father, but just growing up, I was just trying to soul search myself as a youth, just moving around. But I guess when I got like a little older, I had, people that I respected and I watched, and I wanted to be like them. I wanted to take something from him and take something from him. These are people in my arm reach. Like, these ain't like celebrities or entertainers or rappers. These are people that I every day lived around. And amongst them people, I can honestly say, because y'all here, it was both of y'all. Two of you guys. You might never hear me say this shit again. So you might want to record
Marcel?
this shit. Both of y'all. Listen, I'm going to get to Marcel. I'm going to get to you first. I'm going to get to you first.
He looked like he ain't tried to hear that shit.
No, because your joint is shorter. So I'm going to get yours out the way. I got it. I'm going to get his out the way.
I'm listening to you.
His shit's short.
No,
Watch it, Gabe. Look, watch it, Gabe. I have much respect for this dude, man. Much respect for him. And you introduced me to a lot. You knew the things that I was going through in my life. You heard a lot of stuff because I sat down and I actually talked to you. I got a lot of gain from you, and I got a lot of questions answered from you, like going in the right direction. And you put me in the right direction. No matter where you was at in your life, I felt like I can come to you and get a real honest answer. And you always steered me. No matter how crazy shit sound that I brought to you, you never put me in no position to make me feel like, I shouldn't come to you. And you was always there for me. And then, as time moved along, you introduced me to a lot of different things to kind of like, it was more than just, no, you gotta stop this, you gotta stop that, don't do this, don't do that. It was, stop this, let's do this. Don't do that, let's do this. So that was like a bigger picture than versus somebody keep saying, don't do this, don't do this. And then when you look at somebody, you're like, yo, what the fuck is you talking about, man? Like, I'm still fucked up, I'm still broke. You know what I mean? So I appreciate all your words, all your advice, let alone all your fucking action until this very fucking day.
Oh, you my man. I'm loyal
dig what
to
I'm
you.
saying?
Young boys, heard that? I'm loyal to him.
All right, your joint is over with. Now let me get the
I'm still loyal.
No, get.
Who, the grouchy nigga?
Yeah.
You can call it whatever you
That nigga
want.
grouchy and shit.
You can call it whatever you want.
Hurry up.
Because I'm straight to the point.
No, but
You know what I mean?
with Gib, it's just a funny motherfucker, man. He's just a funny motherfucker. But at the end of the day, putting me, putting myself around him or allowing him to be around me, and from the strength of you, because y'all was family. So it was like a pass-off type joint. I guess when Gabe got tired of me and shit, yeah, you want to do something, you hang with my cousin and shit like that. And
I passed that nigga off to you.
and he like dealing with me. But I got up under him, working out with him and training, because that's what he was into at that particular time. So it's like I got a lot of game from him, got introduced from a lot of different people, and seen life from a different angle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I never was into fitness, I never was into health. So being around him, being introduced to all those type of things, and let alone all those type of people, it helped me out a lot and gave me a different avenue to look around and like seeing where I wanted to go. Because the shit that I was involved in, it was like, all right, I always was cutting hair. That was like always a grind for me. From like school time, but I didn't really take that joint serious until like, graduation time, and then just started making a business out of that shit. But as far as like dealing with something else. Because like you said, learning other trades and other things,
Yeah.
he introduced that, that health stuff. You did it too, without a doubt. You got me in the door with the fighting joint. It was like, yo, Milk, you got to chill. You 2-time felon. You only got one more, nigga. You come in here and start using your hands. Stop doing that.
Yeah.
I don't, just like, I ain't want to do none of that shit. But, when you say, oh, come here, let me show you something. Let me show you something. And then it's like, all right, come on. You putting this shit on me. You beat me the fuck up. Now you're making me mad. And shit. Like, now I got to do something. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But, because he was one of them type of motherfuckers that's like, I'm going to show you how to choke a nigga. But never show you how to get the fuck out the choke. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to show you how to break a nigga leg. But never show you how to stop a nigga from breaking your leg. You know what I'm saying? That was the shit he did.
Yeah, but
then when it was like, all right, come on, let's do it. Let me show me how to do it. No, we're gonna do that next week.
Well, I want to listen. I want to give Marcel his flowers
But
too.
let me thank him though. Let me thank when
that
I
wasn't
cut
long.
joint
That
off.
shit was longer
Let me
than
thank-
mine.
I told you. Let me thank the man for really putting me in this direction where I'm at now. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because now I got my own gym. I'm blessed to have that. You know what I mean? I've been around a lot of people helping them. From pound to pound type vibe of, helping people lose weight, gain weight, just dealing with the whole fitness aspect. So if I say, without a law's permission, with a law's permission, you put me in that direction to go in that health fair. So I appreciate that. And like I said with Gabe, you just introduced me from the start of just taking that direction, being on that straight path. So with that combination, just for y'all two right there, I thank you both.
All right, I want to give Marcel his flowers too.
That's what's up.
I want to give Marcel his flowers too. Cause Marcel did introduce me to Fuseinaction African martial arts. Right, quick little story, and you know what I'm saying. We can end pretty soon. He was telling me to come down that joint, and I watched him because I ain't never think he could fight. You know what I'm saying? He was always in shape, and he was never in shape though. He was never in shape. He was built like the nigga that Tupac threw up the roof in Juice. He the chubby little brown skin nigga, right? So I watched Marcel hit a bull with a 2-piece, spin off of him, pick him up, walk him off the mat, walk him back on the mat, jump in the air, slam the dude, and end the fight. And I was like, I ain't never seen nothing like that before. But you gotta understand, I grew up with the bull, right? The only thing I see him do is eat all the turkey bacon. I ain't never seen this bull rumble like this. So when he
Turkey bacon,
he got nigga fuck some turkey bacon up. He eat that shit raw too, no bread.
Yeah.
Right out the
He the only boy can stick his hand in hot grease and not get burnt. Like that shit's crazy.
Yeah.
So he convinced me to come down there. He owed me that after bullying me for 40 fucking years. He said, you know what? You need to come on down here. And I'm going to be honest with you. I went down to that joint and I trained. And I hope you niggas is looking at this. Whoever's on this live, I will fuck all y'all niggas up. I can fight my ass off now because he did introduce me to that. You know what I'm saying? That was just a mistake though, because by him used to bully me, he taught me how to fuck him up. You know what I'm saying? But he definitely introduced me to that joint. And that's something that I teach my children now, and it's something that my children can teach their children. You know what I mean? Because I ain't never seen a person systematically dismantle a dude. Like, it looked like the dude allowed him to do it. That's how fast and smooth that shit was. So once I said, okay, you know what, let me try this. Now, he beat me up a few times in the gym. He broke my nose, like I said before, but I know to keep my hands up now.
I don't remember that.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. I was going to bite the shit out. I don't know no kung fu, but I was going to bite the shit out that nigga. But what I'm saying is, so he introduced me to that, and he introduced me to Mwanzo, my martial arts instructor. That was one of the best things. My children know how to fight as a result of that. So I can honestly say the grouchiest motherfucker on this podcast really was a benefit of to me for that, because I was able to teach my family how to defend themselves. And I've been in situations where I mop niggas up because he brought me down there and he showed me how to fight. Yeah, he showed me how to fight.
What's up.
Yeah,
but all it does is, and I come up under an era where we had older guys in our neighborhood that took the time out to show us stuff, like Muhammad and stuff like that. So even for me, it wasn't something that I, like planned to do. Like me and Gabe, we lived together. So we was always, I used to bully everybody. And even when I introduced him, like, yo, try this out, never knowing where it's going to take you. But yo, get with this, try this. And even with Milk, like it was a time when Milk would be with me and we would work out. He would never, I'd be like, yo, take over the class. No, I ain't doing that. And I would say, yo, do this. I ain't doing that. But it all started for real, for me really like wanting to teach people and train people. And it started with Mwanzo.
Yeah.
Because
that was our martial arts
right,
instructor.
Mwanzo was our martial arts instructor. So, when I used to train and I never understood it, I'm going to keep it short. I never understood it, but he always used to make me do the lowest rank had to teach the class. So he always would make me teach the class, and I always would teach the class. And I used to hate that shit because I was new. I always wanted to stay in the back. But he always would make me teach the class, not knowing he was preparing me for personal training and teaching people how to lift weights, or even implementing teaching kids how to box and opening up my own boxing gym. So he already seen it in me, but he was just preparing me and teaching me. This is what you're going to do. Not me not seeing it. I'm like, all right. So now everything that I got from Wanzo is already a foundation that I put in, even with training, even when we lift weights. It's always I'm gonna get it all out of you. We're gonna always get it all. We're gonna work till we get it all, and I motivate and I keep people pushing every day, even with boxing. So Wanzo was a mentor to me, and it taught me how to teach and train people and to be patient with people. So it's just it's a domino effect. So Wanzo was a mentor to me. And his foundation, VS Foundation, is what got me working out the way I do. And now my passion is teaching kids how to box and working with kids. And I put all of that energy in the same way that he put it into me. I put it into them, so I only train one way.
And it was crazy too. A quick little story about Milk before we end this shit. Flip that camera, nigga. So Milk got pretty good at mixed martial arts. 2 reasons. Right? His first knockout came from a kick. Of course, his legs ashy and shit. He still got mosquito bite scars from when he was 6 on his legs, no shea butter, right? But Milk's first knockout in the gym got his business shut down. so let me tell you how that happened. If we gonna end this shit, y'all end it after this?
Yeah, end it.
All right, so Milk, that's why he laughing. So the owner of the building where Milk runs his shop at, his son or nephew or somebody came up to the gym to train with us to do VS, Vidassana, African martial arts. So Milk was getting good at that time, right? You know what I'm saying? Legs is shot though. His legs was fried chicken. But so we gearing up. So Milk about to spar the owner of the building's a relative, right? So
he was a boxer.
He was a boxer. I was gonna get to that. It's a quick story. So I told the bull, put on the headgear because this ain't boxing. So the bull like, ain't about nothing, not box. I do this. So he give me all these fancy reasons why he shouldn't put on the motherfucking headgear, right? So Milk over there looking ashy and rusty and shit, but Milk could kick now. You know what I mean? That's why he was a little thinner too. He was built like the Cheetos cat back then. But I said, you sure? You don't want to put on the headgear? He's like, no, I got all this. Like, you know how niggas talking, I got all this, ain't about nothing. I said, okay. Man, they got about 14 seconds to that match. Milk kicked that boy on his head. That boy dropped. Milk stood right over top of him with ash coming off his leg. The ash was going on the bowl on the ground. And Milk reached his arm out to him, let me help you up. And I grabbed Milk and said, don't help that nigga up, let him lay there. Remember that?
Yeah.
So then, dude said, I'll be back tomorrow. Milk go to work tomorrow, lights cut off, no power in the building.
Where was that at?
They shut Milk whole business down.
On the corner where the Dominican store is?
Yeah,
Yes.
he was the grandson of the owner of the property.
I
didn't know that shit.
Milk kicked his way out of a job.
I was renting the building out and shit.
He renting the building out. Yo, Milk went back there, ain't no water. He got a generator. They took the gas out the generator. Go. Shit ain't even work.
But the crazy part about it, he called me like 4 or 5 days later and had the funniest conversation. Because I think I called you on the 3-way to get him to say the joint again. This nigga said, yo, I'm glad you knocked me out. Because now I know what getting knocked out feels like. I couldn't believe that man said that shit.
Yeah, it feels like getting evicted from your building.
All right, yo, let's wrap this up.
All
man.
right, wrap it up. All right. This is another episode of Fuseinaction Podcast. You know, we didn't argue, man. You know what I'm saying? Marcelli threatened to fuck me and Milk up. You know what I'm
Y'all
saying?
you motherfuckers ain't get on my nerves. You had a civil conversation tonight. You motherfuckers had a civil conversation tonight.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
So
Yeah,
we
man.
like to see you guys guys tune in. You know what I mean? We're gonna chop this up. We're gonna get you some reels out. Fuseinaction, forging, unity, safety, and equality. You know what I'm saying? This boy got on all blue and black socks. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna give him a pass right there. Boy, you got all
Wrap it
more
up, wrap
ice
it up,
gloves
Gabe.
on.
Stay focused and
No,
wrap
I
this
ain't-
shit up,
yo,
man.
we know you a karate expert.
Man, I wrap it up. Look, welcome to another episode of Fuseinaction.
Yo, he look like
until
Precious.
Until the next
Remember that
episode.
one with Monique? Don't he look
Peace.
like a Bell
God
version of
bless.
Precious?
Good night. Cut this shit. Man.
All right, that's good. Yo, the boy, Milk, he said, you knock my lights out, I'm cutting your lights off.
Yep.
Yo, Milk like, yo, bro, you know an electrician? I'm like, no, why? He's like, my lights is off. Like, yeah, that shit off at the pole,
Yeah.
nigga.
Yep.
Or so you ain't know that?
I never knew that.
What? Man, they cut.